Ladies and gentlemen, the Adult Baby Show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Adult Babies Podcast, episode 130. I am B.
I'm Chic.
And I'm Chris.
How you guys doing?
You sounded like a news reporter.
Well, he is now.
You know, things are different in my life.
You're an adult now.
I'm an adult, and we're recording live from my own apartment.
He doesn't have time for our silly jokes.
I don't.
He doesn't.
This isn't a comedy podcast anymore.
No.
Okay?
This isn't the Adult Babies. This isn't an intervention.
You're right.
It's turned into an intervention because of
He's
me.
like, you two
I got
need to
it.
get your fucking lives together.
I got it.
I did.
I gotta talk to you guys. This is the way you're living is not right. You gotta grow up, like I've been.
So how long have you been in this new humble abode?
I've been 2 days living this new life and loving it.
And what did you say to me when
Hey, sit on a
and
noisier chair.
I know. I have a squeaky chair.
and you have the weirdest shaped chair. It's like a Game of Thrones chair, but a lot narrow.
But like small. It's
yeah,
like
but
a
like real
miniature-
small. It's like a kid's version of the Game of Thrones
It was made
chair.
for the midget on Game of Thrones.
and I'm assuming the way, like, if you looked at me, you can't even see
It's
the
not
chair.
flattering.
Why was it not making noise? And now that you started this show, you decide to move
Literally
constantly.
before we started, it
I did
didn't
not
make a
hear it
sound.
once. We've been talking in his apartment for 20 minutes or so, and I haven't heard this noise until he decides to record and put a recorder to the voices, and now he's got to try and make as many sounds as possible.
No. When I perform, and I consider this a performance, I move around. I try to get in with it.
Okay.
I'm the motion with the ocean. Be free.
Is this the same chair that was in your basement?
Yeah.
Because I feel like deja vu.
Chick knows his chairs very
He does.
well.
He knows his reclining chair.
Because I'm sitting in this chair and I'm like, this. I almost said this reminds me of when we did the show in your basement.
Hold on
And
a
now I'm
second.
like,
How are you
this
that-
is basically your basement.
I've felt this chair before. This is much better than the couch that's
This
in the
is
basement.
this
though.
is also that couch was terrible. This is also the table. From
It
the
is.
basement. Yeah.
How
And the
many
same
places now have we done our show?
Oh, we're going on.
a good few.
So we did T-Briz Studios,
Yeah.
did Chick's Garage,
Yeah.
We did my
Chick's
studio.
Backyard, we did your studio, did B's Basement, B's Porch,
We've done like 5 locations from my house alone.
Croxley's, your backyard,
Yep,
and now
Croxley's.
we're almost at 10 locations.
Yeah.
So
Where will
we
we
should
be
actually
next?
throw a
And
party
no,
for
we
the
did
chair.
hit 10. We did one at Allen.
Allen Park. Yeah.
That's
you're right.
10.
Yes.
By the way, we were looking. I don't know.
I can't listen to you like this the whole time, talking like that.
I'm sorry. What
With
am I
this
doing?
like monotone.
He's like older.
Your whole demeanor is changed right now, and if you're gonna continue to do this, I'm gonna make fun of you the whole time.
Listen, you child. This is how grown-up persons speak. They speak like adults.
Okay.
This is
Yep.
what we do. We put our keys to our house in our place over there, and we stack our refrigerator with stuff. This is how adults do it. I'm sorry you don't live this way. My mom isn't here. Mom, are you here? No, she's not. Things are different, Chick. I'm a
Now,
different
are you
guy.
cooking every night, or are you just ordering from each place on Main Street
Yeah,
one
I'm just
by
walking
one?
downstairs. No, I plan on getting my crock pot here. I'm gonna get some nice crock pot meals, make it nice and
day
nice.
meal. Yeah.
I will start cooking. I'm still in the process of moving in, and I want to get to that because I know you had some. So this week was huge for us in general. Because
But we could finish with you before we get into me.
I
I know
know.
you guys are really aching to get into my. I started work this week.
Yeah, we should acknowledge how big of a week it is.
It was just a big week for the adult babies.
It is.
The only thing that would have made this bigger is if the Open Your Eyes movie got bought by Netflix or something like that.
Oh my god!
You know?
Imagine that.
Can you imagine?
That
could
will. I
imagine.
feel like
I
it's
could-
going to happen one day.
Literally, I could imagine it.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't count. Since it didn't
Would your
happen
pay
this week.
increase right away if that happened, or because the movie's made, you got paid what
I
you got
only
paid?
make money off the residual stuff now.
Okay.
Which we're working on like a Patreon for the residual stuff, and probably the movie's going to be out for free on YouTube.
How do you get
As
paid
like-
on something on YouTube?
I don't get paid for the movie though.
What
really.
the residuals on what then?
I get residual content.
Okay.
So I make like for that Patreon page that we're making.
Okay, yeah,
I
yeah.
get paid off the stuff that I make for that. I do all the editing,
Okay.
and then I get appearance fees for doing stuff for that page.
Perfect. Gotcha.
So-
Good.
But yeah, I don't mean to vary too far
No,
off of what you were going into be. So you moved in and you hate
yeah,
moving.
it was a huge week for 2 of the adult babies because Chick, you started a new job.
Yep.
And I moved into a new apartment.
I got a haircut.
And you got a haircut. I mean,
You know
things
what?
are
I was
happening.
gonna say the picture
It's
you
three
sent
things.
us with the mask
Yesterday.
was totally different than what you look like
I look
right
better
now.
in
Yeah.
person,
You
generally.
were
No,
getting
I
a
think you
little
look better
shaggy.
yesterday. I like the crazy look.
It's getting to be too much.
It was a lot.
You were getting a little shaggy.
Yeah.
So the original plan was I was going to see if you guys were around Monday because my only day off is Monday. So I was going to see if maybe you guys could come help me move some stuff. And then, by the way, I moved my mattress about 3 feet and I almost broke my hip. So
Your hip, not the back.
yeah, the hip. It was I
that's-
jerked now my hip is bad.
That's a new ailment.
So now you have a new part of your body
You know
that's
what it
not
is?
right.
Well,
he
We're
got
going to be a
older.
complete question mark soon.
This week he got older,
Over.
though. So
Yeah,
it
I
makes
did.
sense
I
that
did.
he
I
has
did.
a
I
hip
grew
thing
up
now.
this
He did get a
I
little
grew up.
older, exactly.
And
Did
my
you wake
bones
up
got
feeling a little more achy than
My
usual?
bones got a little more brittle throughout the night.
Did you shrink?
I am going through osteoporosis. I'm taking calcium pills. Soon I'll be on Metamucil.
Metamucil?
Things aren't going well.
Things are going downhill quick.
You got beta blockers?
Yeah. Now that I'm out on my own, I'm just gonna fall apart. It's very possible. So I lost my movers, and then once I started looking at stuff, I was like, I'm not being. Even if the three of us did this, the bed's heavy. Like it was a big job. Not a lot of stuff, but
It isn't a lot of stuff, and I personally think I wouldn't have, like, sometimes, you know, when you're going to help somebody move, and I did it a lot last year.
Yeah.
You just look, and it's overwhelming, the amount of stuff you have to move.
This wouldn't have been.
Mine
This
wasn't.
does not look like an
the only
overwhelming
thing
amount of stuff.
that would have been hard is the bed. I feel
The
like
bed was the bed was in pieces.
But it's
but-
the mattress
But
and the
it's one of those like
quite the headboard you
It's
got there too.
listen, that's a headboard for a
the
king.
headboard is one of those things that when you move out, it's like, I don't need the headboard.
I've never had a headboard. I really want one.
I
though,
spent a lot
feel
of
like.
money on
I haven't had one. Then I got one. Like, I was always back and forth on the headboards. I think I like them.
They're nice. I got this from Bob's. It's a complete Bob's set. And it's the headboard all comes. It's not terribly heavy, but it's wooden and all that shit. So, but the mattress is one of those like memory foam things.
So it's like floppy.
where it's floppy.
Oh, you got the Bobopedic.
I got the Bobopedic. That's a Bobopedic.
Damn, man.
And it weighs a ton. And
Then let me rephrase that, because I wouldn't say that they're heavy, because I've moved those.
Dude,
The memory.
I mean, they're
foam
heavy,
ones,
but
though,
I think it's more of the bending
It's not.
of it that makes
Dude.
it heavier.
I agree with you with regular mattresses. Those memory foam ones, though, they're like dense.
Yeah, but if it was straight, like, let's say it had a back, like a spine to it.
there's no way you're picking that thing up.
I'm not saying you're picking it up, but you could, with two people, pick it up and walk it easily. I feel like, if it doesn't bend.
It's very heavy.
Okay.
I tried to get it into my house and it just wasn't happening.
By
And
yourself,
I consider myself very strong. So
stronger than the average man.
stronger than the average child. So I hire this moving company
Not
that
your average baby.
that I'm not. I find these people from a friend that's used them. So I send out the random text to the guy, which is always weird if you don't know somebody and you're like, hey, are you available? I heard you're a moving company. And
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's not necessarily a moving company, but he works for a moving company and has the truck available on the side. He's one of these guys.
Oh, so he can get you in within like a half-hour
Yeah.
window.
Do you think people who get these trucks, who just normal friends of yours who get these trucks, want to be called for the use of the truck to brag about their truck and how useful it is, or do they not want to be bothered?
This is like almost like an 18-wheeler.
Oh, okay.
This is Verity. Maybe I shouldn't say the name. Whatever.
I do know that one. Though,
So
yeah.
it's like a
Double down on it, Chris.
I have seen that around.
it's a big truck. This pulled into my neighborhood, and I was like, okay, all right. Well, there's gonna be a lot of empty space in that thing for my couch and my bed and my TV.
Do you realize I'm moving into an apartment, not a house, right?
The truck was bigger than the apartment. There was more space in the truck.
Well, at least
looking at the truck and you're like, wow, I could.
You should have designed it in the truck just to give you a feel for how you wanted to do it in the house.
So these guys they're great. He shows up and he came on Monday, my day off. It was perfect. And guys texted me. Again, 2 weeks in a row, I have a grown man using a lot of emojis to me. One was the real estate agent. Now is this guy.
I feel like
Maybe that's in the
emojis
world we're
have
living.
officially become normal for texting.
Yeah.
Because me, I use emojis. I like a good emoji. I like a good GIF.
I like the thumbs up, but beyond that,
No, I like to do laugh face. I like to do it all.
okay, laugh face is good.
Yeah, but I even like using the emojis with my face now. You know how the iPhones
Yeah,
have the
yeah.
one with
Like,
your face?
yeah.
I'm a big fan because it looks just like me.
Now, I will do that once in a while, but I'll only do it with somebody I know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not about to send emojis to somebody I don't.
I agree with you. I don't hit people with emojis until like I'm, it's like kiss me before you.
know, man. There's a
I mean,
lot-
what is it? Take me to dinner before
I
you.
got an
What's
emoji
the
in an
fucking
email
phrase?
the other day.
Yeah,
like a
come on.
work email. thought
Can
that
I
was
tell you
strange.
when I see that in a work email, it bothers me
bothered
because
me a
that's
lot.
like, and I'm
When
listen,
you
I'm
see
not
that at a
Mr.
work
Perfect.
email, how often does that happen?
I've been in a lot of companies and a lot of
Yeah, you're right, you
chains.
have.
I have. Listen, I may not have been in them like recently, but there's been days, and
Now,
whenever
this
I
was
saw,
like the old school emojis, though. at
no,
the
I'm
time.
not.
Yeah. They had to type it up with
Yeah,
like
right.
numbers and stuff to make a thumbs up.
It's like an equal and the closed bracket.
Do you remember now that they finally made emojis that can cross over phones? Where if somebody didn't have an iPhone, they didn't see the emoji; they just saw
Yes.
like the code that
Where
was
you got
used.
like a question mark box?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, with the
Like-
question mark box.
I don't know what you're sending me, man.
Yes, I don't know what that
Like,
is.
Are you mad or happy? I don't fucking know.
But like, I'm not Mr. Professional, but yeah, when you get one
It's
in,
the understatement of the year.
but when you get one in a work email, it's like, what are you doing, you
Right.
clown?
Yeah,
come on,
Well, they probably see you and they're like, I think I can do this with
But
this
they're
guy.
on chains with like
Yeah.
the bosses and like
See, I don't
I'm-
like chains either.
Yeah, I don't
sometimes you like the one company I was at, like you had to be on the
yeah,
chain.
a lot of companies it's
I don't do anything that big, I guess.
like a
but-
blind CC, but you know the
a blind CC.
well because they'll
Oh,
put it
yeah.
out and you know everybody's on
That's
there.
work
Yeah.
jargon.
I mean, I've been in a lot of corporate places, hence the reason why.
See, I've
I
never
was
done
unemployed.
a corporate thing. Like
Yeah.
the most my chain is like 5 people, maybe.
Nope.
Yeah.
Max.
Yeah, I've been
Even
around.
that's a lot.
5 is not a lot.
Yeah, because everyone does their pleasantry thing. Like, hi, hope you're doing well.
Yeah, that's almost like a
and
group
then they
text,
get
which
to
is
it.
a little that bothers me too. I can't deal with group text
It's a lot.
But I don't like this jargon with strange men that I don't know. I don't need to emoji talk with you, So I got this going on. Now the guy shows up to my house, and
I don't need to emoji talk.
the guy shows up to my house, and I'm telling the truck was huge. It was hitting branches. I'm like, this guy,
He's taking down half
he's
the trees.
taking down trees. And the first thing he does is two guys come up, and they pull in by my driveway.
Your
and-
weird driveway.
my old driveway, my parents, and they the first thing they do is since me and my dad were moving stuff out of the garage, which is a whole nother story.
How happy were your parents?
Happy, but also I think it hit my mom where it's like, because me and my mom have a great, my dad too, but me and my mom, my dad goes to bed
He
early.
wants to throw his dad under real quick.
No. They're the best, but my dad goes to bed early, so a lot of times me and my mom
Not that
will
night.
hang out.
Damn right they're the best. They could have stopped caring about you after they each gave you a kidney and they
That's
were the
true.
best.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Now, what he's not mentioning is the confetti all over the house the day he was leaving.
His parents, soon as he left, would
My parents are out on the town right now.
Oweem. They were going crazy in that
My
house.
parents are doing a date night. They were here 2 hours ago. They're like, actually, we're here in the neighborhood. We're going to Vespa or something. I'm like,
Yeah, they're about to get good eats, get
They're enjoying
drunk
life.
as skunks.
They're enjoying
And then maybe you're going to have another brother or
They're
sister
gonna enjoy
soon.
the house.
I looked at my bathroom. It was totally cleared out of everything. It's almost like I didn't even exist anymore. It kind of bothered me.
I can't wait for my parents to have that feeling.
I know. It'll happen to you
Soon
one day.
enough.
The unit next door might be available. If you
Yeah.
I've been looking around his place like, I can maybe stay here.
Dude, this place would be awesome.
No, I mean, with
By the way,
him. Like,
I
think-
I'm
you
thinking,
mean
I'm like, where am I going to
There's 3
sleep?
apartments in this building. If you guys make it happen, I can kick these people out. I think. I've only been here for 2 days, but I think I can cause enough problems where they want to leave.
You imagine the three of us took this top floor.
That would be
This would be the adult
awesome.
baby studio.
We would just each walk out of our door and like, all right, let's record. Keep the thing in the hall.
That would be so
Yeah, I wouldn't
cool.
even shut my door at night.
Neither would I.
No, we all live in this.
I love how you're the only apartment that doesn't have a number on Main Street.
I know. Well, that's good that way. We're inconspicuous.
No, but now that everybody knows the one apartment without a number is B's.
There's a lot of apartments here.
And they all have numbers. I walk down the street.
Okay. Well, whatever. They can
Well,
find
now they
me.
know.
B's gonna be so scared now that I
It's weird
just
that
dropped
door
that.
was unlocked too.
Well, I unlocked it for you, dummies.
Oh, you did that on purpose? I thought
Yeah.
that was always
I thought that-
unlocked.
No, I unlocked it.
Because I didn't lock it when I came up.
That's all right. I'll lock it again before I go. This door's locked. That's all that counts. So,
There's 3 like normal men in here. This is not the time to be
kick-
scared. It's
I
when we
will kick
leave
through this
and
door.
you're here by
I'm
yourself
not
that you
scared.
need to be scared.
I slept here last night. I don't think it's haunted. I feel good.
Were you
feeling-
nervous the first night?
I was nervous the first.
Because you don't
day.
like staying in your house by yourself.
But all right, so here's
smaller, though.
Here's the thing. This
That's the
is
check.
easier to contain. If somebody comes through the window, then
where you going?
yeah.
Nowhere.
Oh no. I no. I
B, I'm not trying to be like the bearer of bad news.
First of all, nobody's shimmying up there. That's in between a building.
I could probably do it.
That's even easier to shimmy up because they could use the other building.
Yeah, I could wall climb that.
Who's really? I don't think there's enough.
Somebody who's determined to get you.
Nobody's determined.
They saw your comedy one night. It sucked.
Yeah,
They
I
wanted
gotta
their
get-
money back,
I
and you
gotta get
said
him.
no.
Nobody's determined to get into this 1-bedroom apartment. I'm pretty sure. I don't have anything in here.
Okay.
Whatever, a couple Guinnesses and
We hope
potato
so.
chips.
It's nice TV.
I do have an idea, but they can't get out of the window with it. So anyway, these
There's a
guys.
will, there's a way.
So these movers show up.
No, if they're in, they just go out the front door.
I'm not even going to acknowledge you guys. These movers show up, and before they even make contact with me, we have garbage at the end of the street. Guy's rummaging through my garbage.
What do you mean by rummaging through?
I mean, he grabs an old bird bath and puts it in his gigantic truck. And he goes,
God.
he goes, you throwing this out? And I'm like,
No.
Yeah. And he goes, it don't got the top, but I could figure something out. And now my dad's like over there. My dad's like wants to be involved with the whole
course.
thing too. And I'm like, Dad, I got this.
Dad, I'm a grown up. I got this.
Yeah.
I'm not buying a car.
Right. Also, I didn't tell him the price. I told him the price was a little cheaper because I didn't want him to think I was crazy.
Why are you still lying to your parents?
Because I want them to think that it all goes smooth. I only lied
Just
by
because
$100.
it's more expensive doesn't mean it's not smooth.
No,
Only by $100.
but they were kind of like, do you really need to get a moving service?
Yes. My
It was-
friends don't want to help me move, and my back. Did you ever see me walk?
It was
Mom?
$400. It was $400.
That's not bad.
That's not-
Honestly,
that's what you
you
were gonna
can't
pay
put a
us.
price on somebody moving. I hate moving so much.
You're right. So the guy right away, I'm looking at him, and he's throwing the bird bath in his truck, and he's going through, and he comes up. Now, my dad's like, yeah, no problem, you could take that. And he comes into the garage, and I'm like, oh, I got this, I got that, I got this. And then, and he's going to everything that I'm not saying. It's almost like everything that's not nailed down, he's trying to rip off the wall, you know? He's like, he sees a gigantic, I have this big picture of like the Flatiron building in Manhattan. I've had like all my old apartments, and it's huge. And I'm like, I'm not gonna bring this around to this apartment. And the guy's like, what are you doing with this? And I'm like, probably getting rid of it.
This is why
if you
this
want
guy's
it."
in this business.
Yes. Oh yeah. I'm like, he goes, that's the. What did I just say it was?
Flatiron.
Yeah. So that's the Flatiron building. My son's a cop. He works over there. He'd love this. I'm like, dude, it's yours. Throw it in the truck. So.
You should be like, you want to go through my house? And is there anything
Yeah,
else you
yeah.
want?
I mean, dude, I got a garbage pail out back. So he's doing that, and then there's another guy there. Now the other guy, the assistant, the best way I can explain him is he looks like Mr. T without the mohawk and the gold chains. He had a Mr. T built and spoke in a funny way like Mr. T. Like he didn't say I pity the fool, but he was talking in like funny lines. You know what I mean?
All right.
All right, we got you.
So he comes up, and his first thing was, he tells me, he goes, they call me the gorilla. Now, I feel weird about calling a man,
Say it.
a black guy, a gorilla there. That was weird.
Well, this is and this is what I'll tell you. That is as innocent as it may be.
Yeah.
In today's day and age,
Right.
You better not.
you
have called
can't
him a
say
gorilla.
that. As like a white male, you can't, like, even if it's
Ew.
cool, like, you may be cool with one person who's like, call me that, and then you're in public and you're like, yo, gorilla. And then some other dude is like, what
Just
the fuck did
overhears
you
it.
just call him?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I kind of
Especially you guys aren't buddies.
Yeah, you're not
he's
friends.
A moving guy. Like
this is 2 minutes of me meeting him, right? And I'm like, all right, it's funny. The guy's funny, great personality, but I'm like, I'm not ready to do that. Okay.
Did you tell him no?
I kind of laughed it off. What do you say to that?
I don't care who the guy is and what they tell you to call you. I'm not a big fan of a self-imposed nickname.
Right.
I never ask somebody to call me Chick.
Right.
If somebody asks me what's my name, I will say Tom, but everybody's calling me Chick because that's what everybody calls me.
Exactly.
Like, do what you want.
Yeah. You don't open up with a nickname.
You don't say refer to me as Chick or call me B.
Here's the rules.
Yeah.
Here's the rules, guys. If you're a grown man, you don't text a stranger emojis, and you don't talk to a stranger and give them your nickname.
maybe
Okay?
we should put gorilla as like my nickname on the logo.
Yeah, maybe that's you.
And he said the gorilla.
The gorilla.
Oh, the gorilla.
He goes, they call me the gorilla. So he's the gorilla.
He's probably like a fucking madman in the moving industry. Like as far as just like he pumps things out of there, and that's why they got
know
it.
what?
But it's still uncomfortable.
You're probably right, and I'm probably overthinking things.
I don't
because of
think you're
everything.
overthinking it.
Well, here's why.
It is weird,
Here's
though.
why I know I'm not. Because then my dad comes out, and my dad's like, "Hey, how's it going, guys?" You know, my dad's now looking for the top of the bird feeder, and the other guy's like, "Hey, I'm so and so," and the other guy. They call me the gorilla, and he's talking like Mr. T, like almost like he's yelling at you. They call me the gorilla, like he's doing a wrestling promo, you know? Oh God! And my dad,
I actually want to hang out with this guy,
dude,
but I don't want to call him the
Can
gorilla.
you get the gorilla
He
on the
was,
podcast?
probably. He really likes this town. So
Does he? Are they local guys though? Like, do they have like?
they're Long Island based.
Oh, okay.
So then my mom comes in. My mom's bringing up groceries, and he does this. He goes, "Hi, ma'am. They call me the gorilla." And my mom's like, "Oh, that's great. You guys are doing. Looks easy for you." And he goes,
Your mother's such a sweetheart.
"Yeah." And then he goes, "That's what my wife likes about me. That the gorilla can move." And he's talking in third person. The
So
gorilla
now he
knows how
refers to
move.
himself as
Yeah.
the gorilla.
The gorilla knows how to move things, and
It's
he
getting
knows how
less
to move
weird,
things fast.
in my opinion, because now it's like maybe I should just call this guy the
All right.
gorilla.
Maybe the guy's the gorilla.
This guy's just the gorilla.
You're right. And then he goes, to my mom. He goes, "But I'll tell you one thing. My moving capabilities isn't the only reason why my wife likes me."
That's what he said to your mother.
Yeah. And
So
I'm
he's got no chill button. He's got no fucking.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I'm by my car.
I love this guy.
I'm
by the
listening
way,
to. I'm putting because I'm taking like small stuff. I'm throwing it in my car, and I'm listening to the gorilla.
it's like he's hitting on your mom
Yeah,
too.
right?
Like, just so you know, I'm packing fucking.
It's not all I could do. I don't only move furniture, okay? So I'm like, is this really what is happening? I'm like, just very weird. You know, the whole thing is weird. So now we pull up
I
here.
can't believe he said that.
They pull up here, and then they have to follow me. So I take a big truck through Main
They
Street.
take more trees out.
Yeah, they're taking out trees. They took out a sedan down the block.
Everything about this moving company is the best.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
Like we almost need to just be like everybody who needs movers and a laugh. This is the ones to do it.
They had great personalities. They were
To me, that
fantastic.
makes moving even better.
Yes. Oh, it was.
Because nobody wants to move, but if I got two funny guys coming to help me move, and we're having now I have a great story for my show, and they're funny
And-
people.
And they banged out the move in like
So was he really
under
like a
2
gorilla?
hours.
And when it came to moving,
Yeah, they were great, dude. He would strap tables to his back like backpacks and just walk with
can I
them.
tell you it's the difference between you ever see two people who aren't professional movers and they're like, I can't get this thing in, and it
Exactly.
takes you
They
forever,
knew
and
how
you're
to do
dead
this.
doing
They
it.
knew how to do this.
People who know what they're doing, like it's anything.
do
If you're
it.
a professional, it's worth it, and they save you so much time.
So much time, dude. It was 2 hours. Everything
And they
was
probably don't break your shit. If Chick and I had to do it,
Like exactly
we would-
though.
your bed frame would be 6 different colors
I
now
will
from
say
all the
one
walls
thing.
that it
My
hit.
brother had a saw. His staircase, the ledge, they sawed it right down the middle so we could get one treadmill out of there, and then put the piece back
Do it
on.
together. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Oh man!
I
Just
will
to
say-
get
What
a
do
piece.
you just glue it back?
We have no idea how we got it down there, or we think we brought it down and put it together down there. And
That
like
must have been-
we
that
took
must
it
have been it,
apart,
yeah.
but there was like one part of, like we could. Me and my brother have done a lot of moving, and things have not always been easy. and we couldn't get this thing. And him and his buddy tried it, and they couldn't do it, so they just sawed it down right in
I
half.
feel like every move, you look at one piece of furniture and you're like, how the hell did this get in here?
And you always
it's
try
not
and
coming
remember,
out.
because most of the time you did it.
You did it at some point. I'm like, did it come disassembled? How did this piece get into this hallway?
And my own recollection, like my own theory on that, I would say, would be that most of the time when you're moving in somewhere, it's getting redone. So you don't care. Let's like, fuck it.
Yeah.
I don't care if the molding comes down. I don't care if you dent the wall. I'm painting it anyway. You know what I mean? Like sometimes, not always. You don't want to do it, but sometimes it's like, fuck it, just get it down there.
True.
I'll worry about that tomorrow.
Me and Noah, we had we lived in at Stratford Green not far,
I always forget about that.
and
place.
we had like a staircase that was like curved, almost like a what are they called? A winding staircase, but it was like with big walls. It was like 3 turnarounds to get up to the top.
I love those
It was
staircases.
great.
Those are really cool.
It was
They're
very-
a little tricky when if you're under the influence or anything, but they're fun.
But how do you get a bed up there?
Dude, we took a dresser and put it through the wall on the way out, and we had to get somebody to spackle it because God knows we don't know how to spackle. So we got somebody to spackle it for us.
Spackling it's not terrible, but it's not as easy as everybody. Anybody who's I could spackle. I don't believe most people
I
say
did a
they
whole
can
video
spackle.
on it. Remember?
Yeah, that's right. You did do a video on spackling. And then there's people who skim coat for a living, and I'm like, wow, God bless you.
And they're great at it. Anyway, to wrap this up, this guy, now we're going through. I live next to the Whiskey Down Diner. If you're familiar with Farmingdale,
So if you really want to know
Yeah,
where
if you really
he
wanna know where I
lives,
am. But we're going. There's like a courtyard there that during the day everybody's eating outside. It's like a nice little area. So as we're walking by that, I'm with the gorilla guy, and he's like, he calls himself. He goes. This is going to be an easy move, you know. They call me the gorilla, and I'm like, all right, nice to meet you for the 8th time.
got it.
And then he goes. Now we get into the apartment. Now there's other people that live here, and he's at the top of his lungs outside. He goes, "Oh, you got a good place here. You got a good spot. A lot of women here. A lot of women. Fat women. That's what I'm into." He starts going on this rant about fat women. Now I'm like, these people think that I'm the new guy, and I'm just walking around the halls saying how I love fat women. But this guy's going off about fat women. He must have seen a fat waitress at the diners. I don't know what he saw that set him off. But now all he's doing is talking about fat women. And he's screaming it across the apartment. The other guy comes in with the couch, and he cuts his hand. He starts bleeding all over the couch. There's blood right there.
Oh,
that's his blood.
blood.
Yeah. So he bleeds on my couch.
way to tell Chris in the mix of Corona that's blood.
We cleaned it. You can still see it a little bit. The couch is a little dirty because yeah. Well, he did.
I'm on Chris's thing.
Got the gorilla's blood on
If
this.
I was
not
in
the
Chris's
gorillas, it's the
seat,
other guy.
I might not be that happy that you just mentioned that
I
after.
just realized it.
I mean, at least it's dry.
It's
I
dry
guess.
and it's old.
a day old.
Yeah, but they get, dude. They get this 2 days old. But they get
ridiculous.
everything in the house, in the apartment, and then the gorilla goes. He goes, one last thing. You mind if I use your bathroom? And he goes, this is why he's fantastic.
Did
He
you
goes,
say 1 or 2?
He said it before I could.
Thank
he
God.
goes, I'm not gonna drop the Browns off of this pool. That's what he said.
Oh man.
I love
And I'm
this
like,
guy.
All right, you're hilarious. The guy was great. The movers are great. If anybody's looking to move, I will give you their number.
This guy sounds like one of my favorite people.
He
He
sounds
was.
great.
He does sound like a
great.
fun guy.
And the
He does.
entire time, I'm telling you, he's just looking around because it's, he's looking at all the bars and restaurants around, and they're like, this is fantastic. I could do this. I could do this. All the fat women. Like, he was obsessed with fat women.
Dude, some people it's just different strokes for different
Yeah.
folks, man.
They were, so I was all moved in, and they were, also, the other thing is, these couches and stuff have been in my garage for like 3.5 years.
Not
So-
this one.
No, not that one. But like the bed and everything, I had to like get a shop vac. There was seeds. I think there was critters living in.
Well,
these
now you got
couches.
blood on it, so there you go.
Yeah.
blood.
You
and
should just
critters.
throw this fucking thing out then.
I'm about to get
Well,
rabies.
I thought so. Look at how
It's
dirty.
actually in pretty good condition, though.
Look, but it's dirty.
Well, there's a
Well,
big...
it's a light couch too.
It's a lot.
This looks like a moving mark or a sneaker mark.
Yeah, it does. I can get rid of that. But
How about you worry about the blood?
The blood thing is a little
the
weird.
blood, yeah.
Because now I am scarred for life with that.
All right.
I would almost cut that out.
I almost forgot what. Put a little patch in on.
Yeah, actually cut the
I'll put
whole
the adult
top
babies
and
back.
put like a
Yeah, put
Yeah.
like a new patch on it.
Yeah, maybe I'll do
Sew
that.
something
but
in
do it on
there.
both sides so that it looks legit.
Yeah. So, so I'm all moved in,
We all moved in.
and it's very nice to be here, and thank you
Well,
guys.
congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you guys coming out here tonight to the do
That's
the
all
podcast.
right. We could
here.
sweat and do a show once.
Yeah,
I like
I
it.
have an AC over
I'm
there.
joking. I just like to bust your balls.
I don't like when he busts.
Can
my
I say
balls.
one thing that you
Sure.
need? And you're gonna know it. You need some artwork.
Pictures? Of course. I'm not.
Oh,
I'm not
definitely.
all moved in.
Definitely
Now,
that,
if
and
you're a
maybe,
real
like,
adult, you
light-
have to get one artsy picture.
Of course.
I have pictures that I drew myself that I plan on putting up here.
Oh, I like that.
I don't like
Oh,
that.
I like that.
I
I
got
think
some
you
good
should
stuff.
get one artsy and
By the way,
some scenic ones.
I know what your artsy. Your
No,
idea
you
of
don't.
artsy. And
Wait,
it's probably
you're-
like,
I would get a painting that I probably hated just to put there and make it look more grown
I
up-ish.
Do you have something against him putting his own stuff up, like on the principle of it?
No. I think I think people, unless you're an artist, I don't think you should put your own work up.
I
Second,
consider myself an artist type.
if it's just like, are they real pictures, like paintings on canvases, or is it like yours, like a doodle on a piece of paper?
No, I think it's a real. It's a. All right, so I think with artwork, you have to put pictures up that make you happy. And I drew this picture that really makes me happy,
Okay.
and I want to put it up.
So it's one
Can't wait
picture.
to see
You
it.
said
Yeah,
I
I'll
want to put
frame
my
it.
pictures up, like
No,
around the whole
I'm not-
house
no,
is your
like
pictures.
A child. Like I'm just.
Yeah.
Gonna,
Well, that's what I was thinking, and that's
Yeah.
why I was like, no.
Thumbtack it right into the
No,
wall.
I did a graphite picture, which is a fancy way of saying pencils, and I want to put it up there.
Can I tell you,
like
when
it.
I finally move out, hopefully sooner than later, I want to this is something I've been wanting to get for a long time. And when I tell you I'm a man of my word, like I'm going to get it, it's only a matter. It's just when I can finally put it somewhere. I don't want to put it in my bedroom in my house, like my parents' house. I'm getting. I don't know if I'm debating, and there's two of them that I want, and it's the Costanza in the boxers when he's laying across the, and the Kramer in the suit.
I thought you were gonna tell me you're getting a Van Gogh.
No, but they're
Yeah,
going to be
the
me.
way that you
Yeah.
set that
No,
up,
they're going to
though.
be me.
Oh, you.
I want to
you're-
get these. So I want to get
Are you
someone.
gonna pose for it, or are you gonna?
If
just
somebody needs me
Photoshop?
to, yes.
Okay.
If not, and I could Photoshop, I don't know how that.
Chick, you
I
know what
want
you
it
should
done
get?
right.
You should
Like,
go to one of those people in the city that like make a caricature of you and
I'm-
hang that.
Yeah,
well,
you could do that.
I don't
think
want
the
it to be
regular-
joke. Like I want it to be a
It's
joke.
It's got to be the real Costanza photo, and I think you have to do it live, and you have to do it soon because that belly is disappearing before our very eyes.
It's true,
So you got to do it soon.
but
Let's do it right now.
my point is,
Get
I
on that
want it
bloody
like
couch.
I don't
Take
want
your
them
shirt
up
off.
where it looks like a complete joke. Because even though they are a joke,
Well,
I want how they're like legit. You
It
know what
has
I'm
to-
saying?
wait,
No, they're like a
So
legit.
you're gonna be one of those guys with portraits of himself.
yeah. So,
But I don't
it's-
care
like on
because
the
to me,
ceiling.
they're like comical. It's not like me grabbing a bull by the horns. What's the fucking movie?
That's not funny.
I mean, that is kind of
I
fucking
think
funny with
it's a great-
dodgeball. That he's grabbing
yes.
the bull by the horn.
Oh yes.
Maybe I should do all pictures of me.
I think that's a fantastic idea, but you have to do it right. You
That's
have
what
to-
I mean,
you
though. They
have
have
to do
to
it
be
I
done
think
right.
You
And they have to be printed on like canvas.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to Photoshop and
No.
get it on some cheesy. Like I
Don't
want.
Photoshop.
No, you
like,
have to go grab an
I
actual
want someone
bull.
when they first look at it to think one, it's the actual Costanza or the actual Kramer. I want them to have to double take it that it's me
The Costanza more than anything, I think, would be hilarious. And
because it fits me more.
It fits you, or it fits this body type, but it won't fit you in a few
we
months.
need to figure this out and take this photo.
It's not even taking a photo. I need somebody to draw. I need a Seinfeld connoisseur to draw it.
You want
Like somebody who knows that the
Seinfeld
picture the fuck
connoisseur
is. Like
who
I mean, I
also
always think
draws
somebody who
very well.
knows
You're
Seinfeld.
talking about the one where he's in his underwear and he's
Yes,
late.
and he's like
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I see. I'm thinking you do like a real photo of you perked like that. But
Is that his? Is it a painting of his or is
no,
it a real photo?
It's a
I'm
real
trying.
photo. So
So I might have to do that.
yeah, because in that, I think that same episode, it's they drew him in the background of one of at the beach,
Yeah.
but then also, I'm not sure it's the same. Episode.
I might have to rewatch the episode.
Yeah, but then the famous Costanza photo, and he's in his underwear, he's like laying on a couch or something, whatever it is.
It is, right? Like,
Yeah. And he's perched. It's almost like a proud lion. And you have to, like, maybe go to J.C. Penney and, like, where they do photos.
and have them really
and
do
have
it.
them do
Professionally, yeah.
Because it's just underwear. There's no backdrop or anything. They could easily create a couch.
By the way, I don't know if J.C. Penney still does photos, but
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
bet you they do. Like, I bet
No,
there's-
I think
there
they-
is a photo place that does them.
No, I think
They're probably its own thing now. It's-
somebody does it, though.
Really?
Yeah,
Dude, and
yeah.
I have no shame, so I have no problem saying, like, this is what I'm, like,
Yeah,
bring
they,
that picture.
They might have a problem with it.
They
though.
might.
Why?
But if you find the right people.
Is that a copyright issue?
No. As far as, like, they don't want you naked in there.
I'm not naked. I'm in boxers.
Like if you
to me,
use-
what's the difference between a male in boxers or a male in a bathing suit?
Chick's
True.
about to go take his pants off in a J.C. Penney.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
But if you
And I need the white
and they don't even
boxers.
take pictures there.
They
And he's
definitely
just
do.
Like, I'm ready.
That's where, like, a lot of the, like, you know, where, like, kids, like, throw their hands in cake and stuff. Like, a lot of J.C.
Maybe I'll just have Shaba do it. He has his high, like, he has a legit camera.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I could probably stage it us
But
and
you have
get
to
lights.
You have to get the, like, the nice
That-
background.
I'll get the, yeah, we have to, I mean, I want it, like, I want it identical. As identical as possible.
I agree. It has to be identical. It has to be, like, you have to look at that, and that's an iconic photo, and
It
anybody
is.
that knows the show will look
Exactly.
at that and know Costanza. And then
That's
they'll-
why I don't think anybody who walks in and sees me in the Costanza or me in the Kramer is going to think, what a narcissist.
Kramer-
They're going to think, what a fucking idiot Seinfeld idiot. Like, just a Seinfeld fan who's just
Right.
retarded.
But if you did different movies, like
The dodgeball with the grab the
Yes,
bull
I
by the
think that's a
horns.
great
That's
idea.
funny.
This might be what I
That's
do.
funny.
I think it's a great idea if you kind of get iconic photos throughout. You're a movie buff.
Yeah, I should just do it and just
Television guy.
put me in the iconic photos.
I think you should start looking for, like, iconic photos, or start thinking about that, and just have them. You know what's even better? Oh, I tell you what. Now this is what
Everybody.
called-
Now,
now he's
B has
excited.
already
Yeah.
changed this. This is like a light bulb just went off in B's head.
All right, so one of the things that I always want to do is I want to get a bunch of pictures of myself, like in a tux, maybe like a nice family picture, but
Yeah.
just me. And I want to go to my friend's house and just leave them there and not say anything.
Like in their family photos.
yeah, just leave it.
That actually is an
So I've-
amazing
I've
idea.
had
You
that-
should almost get a cutout though of yourself and like
Yeah, something
and just have it.
and just
throw me
keep
in.
adding,
Yeah.
taping it onto family
It's
photos.
not a bad idea.
It's like them and then also you. Like
And you also need a baby photo, and you put that with the
And
kids'
put it up.
photos.
Right. So I think if you can get a photo of you like that for one of these things, everywhere you go, you just leave. You drop a little hint that look who is here, and maybe they don't even see it for another week and a half, and then they
Yeah.
see it and they smile, and then you did your job.
And then I
Because
did
you
my-
made somebody
just making
smile
people
when
smile.
you weren't even there. Oh, Chick, do
This
it.
is gold.
I like where you're headed.
All right. I'm glad that you
I
guys are
like
on
it.
board with this as opposed to completely
B is
mocking.
excited.
Because
bro. I love it.
I enjoy that sort of stuff.
So do I.
I think it's
And I think anybody who knows me would know that I'm not, like, it's not me being, oh, Chick's so arrogant. and
No,
in
it's
love
pretty
with
funny.
himself.
Listen, I think it's the opposite of arrogant. It shows. It just
Shows
shows.
the no shame.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, no. If you went in and had like a real canvas painting of you in a sweatshirt and shorts or something, and we're like,
No, even
actually
better,
that would
he's
even
like
be
in a
funny.
suit holding
That
money.
would even be funny because it's me.
There's no way.
It's funny because he's fat.
There's no way that you could do anything that people would be put off by it.
I almost want to get a clay. You know how people get things like girls get their vaginas and guys get their penises and they
No, I
get
have
them
no
like
idea what you're talking
replicas.
Clay? I didn't.
What do you think
A
all those
mold?
dildos? Yeah,
oh,
a mold
Oh, okay.
of
Of
my
what?
stomach, and just keep it.
You
What,
better
to-
do it soon, man.
to remember it.
Yeah,
You're losing it.
I love this thing. I'm probably one of the
I
few
love how he
people
talks about it like it's
like
gone.
it's
Like,
he's
it'll
like
be gone
losing a
next
loved
month.
because I do think it's going to be gone. That's how confident I've been.
Chick, I'll be on my third lease before that stomach leaves you.
No
That's there
way.
For a while.
You still think it? You still don't have any faith in me?
You've lost 10 pounds.
Because we're doing it the right way, and
All
it's
right.
going to be sustainable as opposed to you. And it's only been a month.
You're right. All right. You're on your way.
In theory, 3 months would be 30 pounds. That puts
is
me
good.
under 200 or at 200.
All right. You're right.
right.
I'm rooting for you. I just I hope it works.
You're the only person who said, "Oh, you've lost 10 pounds." Like that's nothing. When have I lost anything?
I feel like bigger guys lose weight fast.
10
Yes,
pounds in a month
and
is
can I
not a
tell
lot.
you what I will say is that is normally true, but apparently, and this is I will give Katina credit too for kind of informing me about this, but it's also not sustainable when you lose weight. That like you're not supposed to drop that much weight.
get that.
I'm not that
I
big.
think that's why this is perfect for you because the expectations aren't high. You're like, I could do it.
No, it's the
I
expectations
think
are
what's
high.
great about this though is that you're building the new habits.
And that's
That's
what
it.
it's
Yeah.
about. It's not about in 3 months I'm a new man.
What'd
It's
you have for
about in
dinner?
3 months I could do. I had grilled chicken and broccoli.
Damn, man.
He's doing
See,
the
and
thing.
how many sun kissed today?
0.
See?
Drinking water, I say.
I haven't
Feel
had a
good.
sun kissed in probably just because before I was doing this I was drinking like I go through phases with soda and I was on my Dr. Pepper kick.
Okay.
So I haven't had a sun kiss. My all-time
How many
favorite
Dr.
drink.
Peppers, though?
I was having a lot. I haven't had any Dr. Peppers.
All right, nice.
Dr. Peppers.
But that being said, I did start work today.
Yes. Let's get into
We
this.
gotta
'cause
talk about this.
No, did we talk
You
about
started
it on
today
the last
or
podcast?
yesterday?
We talked about I think okay, I didn't get the when did we record last week? Tuesday or Monday? Monday?
I don't think you had gotten the
I
job
just
yet.
found I was in the mix of taking the defensive driving course that
Yeah.
I thought was
Yes,
going
you
to
said
open
it
the
could-
door.
Yes.
It opened the door. I got the job, and I started yesterday.
So how was it? Tell me all about it.
Great. The first day is like an orientation day, just watching videos, paperwork, yada, yada, yada. Today I hit the road, and I was shadowing another salesman, and just basically what I'm going to be doing is visiting all these stores and then trying to sell them on more SKUs of my product and stock them. Basically, we make sure the shelves are merchandised correctly and nicely.
So you
Clean
drive
'em
around
up.
with the product?
Well, there's two things. If I go out on a
Anticipating
sales route, because they call me a swing driver now, where I'm doing multiple things.
Swing man.
It's like where they need me.
Yep.
So if I'm doing a sales oriented one, I will be not delivering any. I'll be in my own car, going from place to place, trying to get orders for a driver, which would be me the day that I'm not doing sales.
You're like a utility guy.
Yeah, basically.
Doing it all.
And then those days you would just literally go from store to store and deliver.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's right up my alley. It's like not. Listen, they are a private company. I did not know that, but I'm working for a distributor for a huge company. But they
Oh, I see.
yeah.
All
So
right.
it's because
I
I
get
thought
what you're saying. Yeah.
yeah. So it's real laid back. It's not like this corporate vibe that I've really been in the last few gigs that I've had, and I love it, man. I'm on the road all day. I'm like when I'm done with the training and everything, I'm gonna be doing what B does, and instead of meat, it's gonna be drinks.
Nice.
Put us together. We'll have a nice meal, huh?
You know,
In what area are you going to be doing this?
whatever. It's gonna be Long Island,
Okay.
so
Oh,
I'll be
that's
on
great.
the island. It's the other beautiful
Dude, that's
thing.
fantastic. And the people, you enjoy the people?
So far, I enjoy the people. I don't think I'm going to have to deal with too many. I think I will have to deal with people, but because I'm out on my own, basically.
That's the great thing about that type of job.
I just feel like there's going to be less drama and bullshit. I've
Yeah.
had, I won't have to worry about nonsense. I mean, listen, every job has issues.
Yeah.
Plus, are you kind of on your own time where it's like, do you have to go to all of these today? Or
Well,
is it
yeah, I
like
have to go to all of them today, but I just realized that, like, I start so early that I won't be home as late. Like, it's just
What time do you start?
6:37 that
Is
area.
that a problem for you?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude,
I've
can you-
already been starting to go to bed earlier. I'm smoking less pot because of, like, I'm walking and doing all this other stuff. Like, things are naturally changing for the better right now.
Good.
Can you promise me that you get there on time?
Yes.
Make that
I can't afford to keep fucking up
yeah.
anything.
Make that your biggest thing.
is.
Because that's been a problem in the
Well,
past.
doing my job is never an issue. I'm a people
know.
person. This is right up my alley.
That's what I'm
And I'm
saying.
going to meet tons of interesting, like, we already met a ton today.
Yeah.
And I don't want to, get into, because it wasn't anything hysterical that happened, but you just meet a ton of people. You see a lot of people, because now I'm basically going to gas stations, supermarket chains, any place that sells energy drinks that you see, and most, and just thinking some of the creatures who work at these places.
Of course,
it's gonna be fun. And listen, every job is great at the beginning. I know it's not. Listen, I'm delivering an energy drink. It's not like I'm fucking the greatest job in the world, but I think I'm gonna be happy here.
Dude, I'm very happy.
And I'm
for you,
walking,
man.
so it plays into my health kick.
Yes, of course.
It's just a it's
So you're
a
going to
movement.
places and you have to like, if you're dropping them off, you have to like put them on the shelves at a place. Or do
Yeah,
they-
when I'm dropping off, I would literally go get checked in by whoever checks in their inventory, and then I would go and clean the shelf and literally place everything that's
Right.
not. I'm basically doing what Sherwin did.
Yeah.
They do the whole store.
Yes.
For my product, my
That's
SKUs.
great, man. That's
So
great.
it's not brain surgery. It's not high powered sales. It's a relatively even like stress. Like I'm sure they'll have some stress, but it's not like nothing.
Right.
I don't have to worry about hitting these quotas where like, oh my god, I'm gonna
Yeah.
get fired because I suck.
Right.
Like as long as I could drive and find these
As
places.
long as you get there on
Just
time.
show up and do your job at this place, and
Easy
you
enough.
should be okay.
And I
Like
think
it's
that's a fair enough thing.
It's fair enough to ask
them
for.
to-
Yeah, exactly.
To
And
stay on top.
The only thing I'm going to say, and this is where I guess it's kind of comical, is because COVID hit when? February, March?
March,
We
yeah,
started
around
hearing
there,
about
yeah.
it in January, February, and other places, and it hit us in March. And tons of people, Chris included, B, you guys have had to work during this and had to do the mask in public. And the only time I've really had to do a mask in these last 6 months is if I'm going, like I'm going to a supermarket or a store, and that's it. Like I haven't been anywhere
Right.
where I need to wear a mask for a sustained time.
So you're wearing a mask pretty.
So
all
now,
day.
whenever I'm in the first day I was in the office the whole day, mask the whole day.
Yeah.
Today, in the car, I'm with somebody, he's comfortable. Like he's a friend of mine, we know each other, no mask in the car.
Okay.
And then every time we got out to go into a place, you have to put the mask on. And then
kinda
you're in
get-
there for a little bit.
I
So
get
these
used
last
to
2
it.
days, well, this is what I'm not knocking the mask, but everybody had these big issues with masks, and I was like, who cares? I can get why people are annoyed about I was
Yeah.
sweating at
It's
some
like a
point.
little annoying,
It does
yeah.
take a little bit to get used to, but I just think it's funny because now we're like 6 months in, and I'm finally.
You're like, what's the deal with these
What's
masks?
the deal with all these mask talk?
Yeah, exactly.
And now I actually have to wear one where it's a little bit of an annoyance, so I get the some of the frustration with it.
Yeah.
But cause like today, I was like, I might have to go outside. I'm sweating. I was like, I need to get a breath of fresh air.
It gets hot.
And that's
Yeah.
it fogs my glasses up for extended periods of time, and it makes me hot. And I'm already like someone who gets hot. I'm fucking fat, so it is what it is.
Not anymore.
And you're blind, right? Like you're.
I
'cause
can't get
just don't wear
LASIK,
my
and
glasses during the
I
day.
can't take my glasses off
okay.
at work. The only time I don't wear my glasses for a significant period of time is when I'm in the pool, because I don't need to
Yeah.
see that well in the pool.
Right.
I think the glasses are a big issue
It's
with
a
the
big
mask,
issue.
too.
I don't, and I think people underestimate how annoying or foggy glasses constantly are. Like you're talking to someone and now it's like
'Cause
your
I wear
fucking
sunglasses
glasses fog
once
up.
in a while, and I'm like, oh god.
Yeah, it's a
Like it's
problem.
hard to. You can't even do it. It's
Imagine
foggy.
talking to somebody and you could tell that they're annoyed because their glasses are fogged.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you could see it on a
It's-
clear
it's a
glasses.
problem, yeah.
It's definitely an issue.
No, I get it. I get it.
But this also leads me to I've been walking a lot now on the path, and it's actually it's annoying me more and more every day I see it. People who are walking, running, bicycling, whatever they're doing on a path with a mask on. Now, I just had this thing, like, I get it. Common sense has left humans. It's gone.
What do you mean? What?
You can't
Yeah,
get
where are you going with
COVID
this?
running or just running past people. Like, they've proven this stuff now.
They haven't necessarily proven that yet. There have been some conflicting things where you probably can get it outside. It's just not likely.
I just
But,
can't.
like, if
honestly,
it's not
it makes me
bothering
want
you.
to. It doesn't. It shouldn't bother me.
like,
Alright,
it
that's the
shouldn't-
thing that
Like you're not
I don't
wearing the
understand.
mask.
Listen,
like, why-
it doesn't really annoy me, but I see it all the time, and I'm like, what is? They have
You
their
know what,
kids
though?
wearing them sometime. I'm like, what are
I
you
would
doing?
much rather walk by a family
Like
that's
they're
wearing
doing
them
it
than
for
aren't.
you. But the mask doesn't.
I know
help.
it doesn't protect them,
Yeah.
but everybody's doing it because they think it still protects them. They're not doing it
but
for
you know
me.
what? Maybe if it does.
I think a lot of people know that it doesn't.
But maybe if it does a little bit, whatever the thing
I just
is,
feel like they should walk or run themselves into traffic.
I
Wow,
think that's
that's-
insane.
Okay.
Just in this situation, I get other places on a path with. I mean, there's nobody around you,
So then-
and when you see somebody, it's like a quick. Why are you wearing a mask?
But listen, I don't know.
You're breathing heavy, extra stuff's coming out. If I sneeze on you outside, I can still get you sick just because we're outside.
I mean, do you know the chances of me and you having to run, and then the one time you sneeze, you decide to sneeze on the person running next to you, who's
I mean,
passing
it could
you?
I think it's very possible. I mean, cough, anything.
that
mean-
shit stays in the air for a minute. It's not.
I think if you're coughing, listen, I wouldn't want to run.
I don't wear them outside. but-
I
But
listen.
it
I
doesn't-
probably should be more.
It doesn't bother me when other people do.
It's just been bothering me.
That's the thing that gets me. No, I wear it when I can, and with my job, I definitely wear it inside of places because I have
Inside,
to.
definitely,
I don't walking down Main Street. I don't wear it. Fire Island, I wore it because they want you to.
Well,
but
listen, if you have to wear, because
know
like
what?
in California, I think now they're getting ticketed if they're not wearing them out.
Yes. But walking by Whiskey Diner here, I put my mask on because I'm walking by people who are just eating.
you're just around a lot of people.
See, I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, I'm walking by these people who are eating. I'm gonna breathe all over their food. Like,
Are you though? I mean, before like
if you think about where
you know what I'm saying? Like, listen, and I don't want to seem like I'm like, oh, this guy don't believe in COVID, because you know I do, and I've proved it on the show, and I'm not over it either. I just think certain things, it's like, I just like, are you getting it on? Is it you getting it on the bike path, or are you going to get it in the
you know what it
supermarket?
is? You know what it is? For the extra half a second I have to think to put my mask on, I don't have to know if it matters or not.
I
It
guess.
takes
it.
me half a second.
It's
You know
not
what?
that.
If I'm wrong and I'm stupid for putting a mask on because I can't get it outside, okay.
Yeah,
But
I get
if-
it. You know
but-
what it is?
but
When I
if
start
I'm
doing now
saying,
and I
like-
can barely breathe, it's like, how are these people, what are they doing with a mask on? I just feel like they're
Dude,
idiots.
I do like a lot of like bringing heavy stuff upstairs with the mask. It's not easy.
Could
It's
you
not easy.
run? Would you walk on your treadmill with a mask?
What I do at my job?
No, but I
Yeah,
mean for an
could.
hour period straight. Would you do it for an hour straight?
I am breathing heavy inside that thing because I'm.
I understand that,
lifting
B,
stuff up.
but you
I
have
wouldn't-
no choice.
I wouldn't, but I feel better if somebody next to me has it. I do.
I just, like, when I'm walking past somebody, that doesn't, like, I don't feel the...
I know.
It doesn't bother me then.
I get it.
I mean, maybe I'm just so selective now where it's like... And I'm not even saying mass in general. I'm talking about strictly on a bike path.
and I think we're
In this,
good.
like, where I'm seeing people, it's like...
I get it, and I think we're good. I've been out a few times this past week. I did a comedy show the other night. Like, I'm around, and I'm not wearing the mask when I'm doing it. At certain places, but I don't know. It's in the back of my head. It's like
I mean, like, listen, it was in my head today, just because I was finally out in a lot of places and I haven't really been doing it. So, like, and then that's why I'm like, I'm trying to be thoughtful of it. And a lot of times I'm like, it doesn't bother me. Why? Like, it has no effect on me. Why do I care? But when I don't know even why it bothers me so
Right.
much,
Yeah.
but it does. And
Yeah.
it brings me to
I
my
think
next point where
everybody's there. Everybody's. It's bothering everybody. But
Well, it's getting to be a lot.
yeah,
It's
it is.
just getting
It
to
is.
be. We're
Well-
5 months in.
it's 5-6 months in, and okay, so this past weekend, I had an engagement party outside. It was at my friend's house. Obviously, they probably can't do it in a hall. I don't even know what the rules are with people. There was a lot more people there than even I was comfortable with, and I'm here bitching about people wearing masks. This is why a lot of these things, to me, there's no one side or the other. There's a lot of things I'm like down the middle on. I'm out and about now. I'm going golfing. I'm seeing certain
Right.
people out and about. I'm not nervous about everything. But I was at this engagement party, and it's outside, which is okay. And there's a tent, and listen, I don't know how many people were there. Maybe 60 or 70, it felt like.
All right.
It almost
So a lot.
looked like 100. It was probably 60 or 70. My buddy said 50 when we first were coming. It was more than 50. And I went there. I was fine. I did not go under the tent once. I went in. I walked in. I was a little taken back by how many people were there, and I found out the next day that some of the aunts and some of the family members didn't go because they're still not comfortable. There's a lot of people who are still not comfortable doing this. And I've been to 2 or 3 medium parties with my friends where it's 10 to 20 people at most, and I was very comfortable at those. This thing made me uncomfortable, and it's why I don't understand how we're ever going to get back to normal anytime soon, because I'm someone who's fairly put it in my back of my mind, and I'm kind of going about my life, and even this made me worry. Now, I will say these are 2 families who know each other, and I'm sure a lot of these people on both sides have been quarantining together, but there's friends there. There's a lot of people, and I was uncomfortable to the point where I went there for 2 hours maybe, which is still a while. Never made it into the tent. Didn't eat the food because it was just like so much going on. I was just uncomfortable. And I had a good time, and I won't even badmouth it, but I was just like, it made me think of like, we're not, like, real life, as good as New York is right now and things are getting back, it's like people were driving past us because it was on a back street, but it was on like a main back street. Every car that passed us was staring at us.
Yeah.
Every car.
Yeah. And you got to watch out because that's all you can get fined for having.
Well, that, I mean, I think
Yeah.
I left, I said a little before it was up. And listen, if this was last year, I would have been there till 2 a.m.
Right.
Yeah.
because the party went long.
Different time.
This time I was like, this is like a lot of people. I had fun. I hung out for a while, but I stayed outside of the tent, and it wasn't even an enclosed tent. It was just everybody was under it, so I was like, I'm hanging out.
I agree.
I went to a graduation thing a couple
No
weeks
masks,
ago.
kissing, hugging.
Yeah.
Like it was did not happen. COVID.
Probably like a little less than that, maybe like 40
Yeah.
something, 40 people a couple weeks ago, graduation party. And even like there, with a lot of the friends I've been seeing this whole time, but they wanted to go inside and all hang out like 30, 40 people in the living room. And I'm like,
I'm good with that.
And that's what I'm saying. And
that's
that
a lot
stuff
for
is
one room.
It's and never thought about
this is
these
one
things.
person.
Yeah.
And that's why it's like outside in this setting. I'll hang out here outside this little thing where I'm little, and this is by no means any disrespect to the people who had it. It was a lot of fun, and they're just people who are past it.
Yeah.
Right.
And it just goes to my point where we're getting to that point where
we're getting
there's a lot of people who are, you know what, like fuck
I
it.
don't think we're getting there. I think we're there.
But I still think there's a fine amount of people who are not there,
I
Yeah.
think a lot.
like a good amount.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But I just think the majority of people are just like, especially in New York now where things are looking good, but
The problem is once you let it go in New York and these people start traveling and coming back, it
that's
comes
the
right
worst.
back.
Yeah. I don't know.
The rest of the country has handled it so
You
bad.
know what it is? It's as a country we did such a half-assed job.
Yep.
That like we were half closed for 5 months, and now everyone's like, "Well, we were closed," but it's like we weren't really.
But
No,
it
you
did-
complained the whole time
Yeah, you
that this
complained
wasn't
the whole
open, that
time.
wasn't open,
Yeah.
and everything. It never fully.
So it never actually worked.
Yeah, they didn't do what they wanted because it was still opened enough
Yeah.
to not
To
make it a
spread
full
shit.
quarantine. It was
Yeah.
like selective quarantining. But so that was like, and that was my weekend, and it made me think too because at one of these parties, the other parties I went to, there's been a couple people who the smaller gatherings where people weren't even comfortable in that gathering,
Right.
and they didn't do it, and like we were like, you're not comfortable. And now, shoes are,
Yeah.
the shoes are reversed now, and it's shoes on the other foot.
I was wondering how many
I was-
ways we were going to try to figure that out.
And I was
Shoes
like,
are not
I
there,
felt like
shoes are on the
them,
ears.
and I'm like, you know what? It's just certain things for certain people are going to be, and I think there's football stadiums talking. Who the Kansas City
Cowboys.
Chiefs just said they want
Cowboys,
six.
Chiefs now.
Chiefs said full stadium. Chiefs said 16,000. I think it turns out, and I think Atlanta was like 25% capacity.
Christ.
It's just like every state is doing, and people are doing their own thing.
Yeah.
And my thing is, you're going to find that many people who are willing to go there.
Absolutely.
You will.
It's a lot of people.
People will do it.
Easy.
You
Every
could
game sold out.
You think so?
I do.
Every
I think
game's sold
whatever
out.
they put it, whatever they're allowed in, they're getting them in.
Well, like I have a golf outing that's probably 300 people that usually get invited. I don't know how many are going this year, but it's still going
What
on.
golf outing do you do?
Man.
It's for a buddy of mine's uncle who passed away, and they
Okay.
do it in his honor. Great time. I'm looking forward to it, But a bunch of my friends were all talking about
Well, you
like.
got enough practice on the greens.
But it's not even the golf part. With these
It's
outings, they do a
afterwards.
raffle after, and it's usually inside, and you dinner, and
Yeah,
it's like a
that's the-
dining area.
Right.
That's
And
the
now
fun part.
most people are like, I'm going to go to the golf outing. I'm probably going to go in, grab food, and come out.
Well, that's where I was last week when I was talking about that wedding.
Yeah.
Where it's like they flip-flopped 8 different times of we're going to do this, we're going to do this. Now, come here, we're going to have 50 people.
Is
in
there
a
any
bar.
more updates on that?
I told them that I told them I'm going to be there. I told them my thoughts of how it's a terrible idea and they're making a
did?
mistake. Yeah.
I'm glad you said something.
That's just what I feel. You know, I just think they're not doing it. They didn't do it the right way. And I get everybody wants to get married, and I would never talk on anybody's marriage. But I think the times that we're living in and the way it was handled, I don't think it was done well. And that's it. But it comes down to the same.
Well, listen,
thing.
I'm team their side because I don't want to get
Right,
into it
no, I
again.
know.
I told you I agree with them, but listen.
It's just, you know what? It's the back and forth. It's if
That would drive me crazy.
The sending out things, and half the people don't even know that that's canceled yet. It's not handled well. And again, I don't want to rehash that, but it's like I have no problem with people doing their wedding if they want to get married. Of course, they deserve it. But the way this was handled, I think, was not right, especially during this time when you're going back.
And listen, and I told you, I agree, and there's probably more to it, like than me and Chris even knew.
Yeah,
so
Yeah.
but
yeah, I just
but it just, and that's the whole
It's a
point where I
weird
guess like even me with the walking,
nobody knows what to do.
Nobody knows what to do. So I mean, you're right, and it's one of those things where I probably shouldn't be so harsh on the other exercisers out there who are wearing the mask. I mean, I guess I do get it.
It's
Just such a trying time because.
And we're all at our wits' end here.
Everybody's at their wits' end.
We went
but
through the whole
people
this
are
summer's
all
over.
on
This summer's-
different pages.
Yeah, that's
and
part of it.
that's the frustrating thing.
Yeah.
Is it's not like as a country we're all frustrated because we are, but it's half the people are frustrated because they don't want to wear them at all. Yeah. Half the people are frustrated because why don't they want to wear them? Like we need to be wearing these, and it's just so many like.
Yeah.
It's
And the Northeast is frustrated with everybody because it's
Yeah.
like, why can't you get your shit together?
yeah, we quarantined and now we have to quarantine to come back because we go visit. Like we can't go. We're basically quarantined because we can't leave New York. The only place we can do our shit
Everywhere
is New
else
York.
is dangerous.
Everywhere else is dangerous.
Oh,
But you know what's
the country is just divided in so many ways.
Yeah, I mean, it is.
In so many
so many ways.
so many ways, more than it's ever been.
Do you think it's going to change after the election? Do you think a lot of this bullshit is
I
going
have a
to
pretty
not
grim
disappear?
view of all of it.
What?
I have a pretty grim view of all.
So do I.
Stuff. I think it's over.
with the world?
I think I think there's this thing. Like if you look back through history, there's like a 200-year
Yeah, you said that, and
expiration
I
date
agree. I
on,
agree with
on
at some
the
point.
world's greatest empires. And at about 200 years, they start to fizz out, and you saw that with like the Roman Empire turned into something else. We still called it the Roman Empire, but it wasn't the same thing. Like I think that happens, and I think that you're running a country with 350 million people who compare someone from New York to someone in Texas.
It's not
might
comparable.
It might as well be another country.
It is.
Which is what I think it will be in 20 years' time. I think that we're going. So
I'm not going to ever say that I'm surprised. I think
Not crazy.
States are so unique in how they run
I just
things.
think, how do you,
By the
especially
way, there's
and
towns
this pandemic
that are
side
different.
note,
I mean, there's no difference than
what's
Europe.
made it
It's no
clear-
difference than being in
well,
Europe.
in Europe, you cross a border, they speak French on one side, German
Well, no,
on the
but
other.
my point is, like, the vicinity-wise, like, yeah,
No.
maybe 50 countries. It's no different
I
than
agree.
50 countries
I
in
agree,
Europe.
but you have those 50 countries have their own sovereignty and they make their own laws. And
The
stuff.
whole issue with those other 50 countries, if we split up, where do the soldiers, like, who has the army, there's a lot of stuff that
I'm
won't
not
be.
saying that it's going to be a clean. No, I
Oh,
think
yeah.
that this is negative.
Oh,
I'm saying
yeah.
This is a negative thing.
It's
Like,
definitely
I think
negative.
that we're having a serious problem.
I think with today's day and age, with the way technology is, and I'm not going to say it's different than every history does repeat itself, and you know me, I'm a huge history guy, but I think the world is so, now I don't mean united in views and whatever, but it's so connected
Yeah.
that we aren't an empire anymore. Like, it's
It's almost like everybody's famous on Instagram. Or
no, but you
we're
know what I
all
mean,
like,
though.
Definitely, but like we are in the sense that we do have military bases all over the place, and so that's the empire part of it. But I mean more like domestically, we have so many problems that they become insurmountable, and then the gap between like the most powerful and most wealthy in this country and the least powerful, least wealthy in this country becomes so wide.
Oh,
like
yeah.
it has in every other civilization.
Yeah.
They beheaded the
That's what happens.
the king and queen of France in that time
Yeah.
because she said let them eat cake during a major crisis. People were starving to death, and she's
Yeah.
like, let them eat cake. You see that kind of happening here a little bit.
The
where
gap
it's
is
like
tremendous now.
There are right. That's what I'm saying.
The
there
problem
are
is
these
that-
problems, but the people in charge are just like, what problems?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. What problems
You
is
know?
right?
so that's where I'm fascinated by it, but I don't think it's positive.
I don't think you're completely off. I really don't. Listen, I think that's a little. I think certain states may. I don't know if I would say.
I'm not saying we're just going to decide to be 50.
No, I don't
states.
think we would either.
No,
but I
no.
think certain states. California's already made it like they want to be their own
California.
fucking country.
Who makes it clearer than Texas too?
Texas.
Fuck, bro.
Well, Texas,
We're
I think Texas wants to be their own. I think they still want to, like, they don't seem like, they don't ever hear them say they want to be their own country, do you?
Texas is pretty much its own country.
It is,
pretty
but I'm
much
saying
its
they
own
just
country
like being
already.
a Texas way in America. You
Yeah,
know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like, does that make
Yeah,
sense?
I don't mean it as like a cut and dry. We'll split up in that
I think,
way.
but
No,
California's a
but it's-
state that wants, like, they've
It's
talked
not
about
crazy
it.
It's not.
It's
I
not
don't
that
think it's nuts.
far-fetched.
I don't think it's nuts to say that the U.S. isn't the same U.S. it is in the next 20 years.
Yeah, whatever way
I
that,
don't
whatever
think
that means.
Yeah,
I
I don't
agree
think
with
that's
you.
crazy.
It's not the same as it was 6 months ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not crazy at all.
I mean, if you look at some
don't
of
know.
like, if you know, and in a non-political way, if you just look at some of the civil unrest that we've had,
Oh,
in
yeah.
the past couple months, if we saw that in some Eastern European country, we'd be like, holy shit, that's a revolution.
But it was here in the 60s. It was here in the 70s.
Right.
something feels different this time.
Something's
But we weren't around. And you know what? I actually, and I,
Yeah, I say that like I was around.
Yeah.
This time it feels
remember
different.
the-
no, but my point,
civil
like,
rights movement?
I saw somebody post something, and normally I don't give into those little, like those, somebody put a quote up, and it's like, oh, so fitting. But it was basically about, like, a kid talking to his grandfather saying, like, crazy times, and, like, this crazy world we live in. And can you believe Corona and the BLM and the like the KKK, all this shit that's going on? And the guy's like, yeah, because we had Vietnam at the same time. We had the civil rights and Emmett Till and all these crazy race like. And Vietnam, people thought, like, think about it. It was just as big as this. The
yeah,
anti-war
but like if
and
you look at it as like you're matching it, like yeah, but we had this also. But if you look at it as cumulative, like not they had this and we have this. They had this, which built to we have this.
I don't know if it's that
Do
cumulative.
you think people
though.
just forgot about Vietnam though? Or
It's
like
not that I
the
think
civil
people
rights
forgot
movement?
about it, but I think generationally, it's. I guess the country wasn't fun. I mean,
Like, you know what I
it's
mean?
like, is it cumulative? I mean,
I know.
I
people,
think it's.
I know people. Who
I don't
went
know
to
if it's ever
Vietnam
been
that are,
cumulative.
like,
I think
still
we've
alive.
given them things. Like, I think we've given like people more of a platform to speak on. So it's maybe.
Well,
but I
that's
feel.
definitely true.
That's
I mean, on a
definitely true,
on a
but-
grand scheme of things,
Yeah.
we've given people more of a platform to speak on, everybody, to where it's thrown in your face whether you want to hear it or not. To where maybe in the 60s or 70s, you could turn off the TV and just kind of hang out within your town and
Right.
kind of be. It's everywhere now. I mean, literally, I went
You
into
can't get away from
two
it.
stores
Yeah.
today, and two of the owners. I mean, we're not going in there talking politics, but it's in everybody's mind. People are loud and opinionated about it in all facets of life. Like,
Yeah.
if I heard it today, I've heard it whenever I'm going. Like, it's out there, and it's
Right.
always to be seen. You
can't
go
escape
into.
it.
I went into a store to get food the other day, and on the TV, instead of there was a fucking NBA playoff game going on and a hockey one, and they have CNN on, and I'm just like, you can't get away from it. It's
No.
like whatever they're talking about or why is CNN on?
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. No, it's you can't get away from it.
It's just, and I think that's why it seems worse for us, and I don't know if it necessarily is worse.
I think it is because it seems worse. So what's the difference of it seems worse that we can't get away from it now versus it is worse?
Because how they were, like how people were actually being treated at that time, getting fire hosed and
But-
shit like that was worse
Then what?
on a
Yeah.
whole than, I mean, listen, I'm not saying race relations are fine in this country because it's a long way away, but some progress has been made.
I
I wouldn't
agree.
say that it's
I'm just
as
saying
bad. I
if-
just think it's still there and it shouldn't be,
If
and
it
that's the huge
seems
issue.
As worse though, and if people are taking it as seriously, and I agree with you, it's definitely better than it was. But if people are taking it as seriously, what's the actual difference in the social consciousness? Not the policies, not all that stuff. In the social consciousness, if people are like organizing, like, have you seen some of these videos coming out of like these cities, like that Chaz thing?
Oh,
Dude,
don't
like that, like people are organized.
well, dude, they kicked the piss and killed somebody out of a truck the
Like-
other day.
Oh, I
It's
didn't-
just
I
like
didn't
there's,
see that. But,
yeah. I mean, no, but my point, like, I think people were. I mean, you had the Black Panther Party then, and you had all these other parties.
right.
I don't think. I just think because we see it and because we're going through
that
it,
could very well be.
we think it's worse than anybody else has ever had it.
That's possible.
And I'm not saying it's better or worse. And listen, we're the last to be talking about politics, really, or anything like
Yeah.
that. But I just think it is bad, and I'm not downplaying that by any means. I just think the fact that it's every single person has a platform.
yeah.
There's nobody who
that
doesn't.
definitely adds
That
something.
totally.
And I'm talking about everybody,
Every
like
single people that don't.
people that have no
By the way-
business
by the
talking
way,
about
Wait,
things.
wait. 3 people in this room right now. We have a
have a
platform.
platform.
And we have no business.
Why would
talking.
we have a platform?
Because exactly. That's
Well,
what.
not-
That's
yeah.
what
Back
it is.
in the day, these like
Why would we have? We'd just be talking to each other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We would just be in an apartment talking to each other. But now everybody has a podcast. They have a Facebook, an Instagram, a website,
But-
a TikTok.
And even legitimately crazy people.
but the
Yeah.
only thing I will
They're
say in
like the
defense
most
of this
crazy people.
podcast is okay. We have a platform in this podcast, but we use it for ourselves.
of course, but
we
so
don't-
does everybody
Right,
else.
but the fact that we even have one.
No,
is
yes, I'm
nuts.
talking about.
Like-
I'm talking about the people. I'm guilty of it myself. Who something happens in a current event or a major thing, and take to Facebook. I
But
try not
we
to do it.
we
I'm still
sometimes
guilty
do
here and
that
there.
on this podcast.
no, but
But this is a show that is meant to talk about our lives, somewhat
No,
of current
I'm
events, and people
agreeing with
tune
you,
in for
but
it.
It's what you're talking about. Why do we have a platform?
Oh,
we
I mean,
are nobody to have a
We're
platform.
nobody to have a platform.
I'm not saying that
Nobody
we
gave
should
us
or
a
we're
platform.
special.
We have a
We
tech-
just started
yeah.
it.
We have a technology that we're able to do
Yeah.
it, and we
And-
like
and
to.
it's going along with what you're saying. They didn't have the technology to just
Yeah.
sit in an apartment and.
But
talk shit.
I even mean more than a podcast because people, and I do think people, and I will give people who are doing something creatively a little more credit than the average Facebook provoker.
Uh-huh.
And I'm guilty of it. I'm trying to be better, and I'm getting
Yeah,
better. But
you are.
something happens, and right away, sometimes your first thought, and it's like I can't even tell you why. It's like I want to put it on Facebook.
Well, it's right there, and before there's
It's because you
even-
want somebody to react to you.
Yeah.
And I'm home, and where else can and I can still pick on or talk to everybody I know through.
And a lot of times it's before we know anything
There's
about
facts
it.
about it.
There's no facts, and it's like, all right, well, how dare they do this, and why is this happening? And it's like we don't know the whole story.
No, we never know the
No.
whole story.
And even if you read the art, and even people are like, "Did you
it's a
read the
biased
whole
article. I didn't. That's from this place. That's not. You got to read it
Or
from this place.
Not only that, but sometimes you read the headline and you're like, "That's horrible," and then you click it, and it's
Clickbait.
like, "Oh, it's not.
Yeah,
it has
exactly.
nothing to do with what it just talked
Right.
about."
Yeah.
Or then you read.
You know what I'm the
another
worst
article
at
and something
clickbait
completely
for is
different.
those photos where it's like these are photos of this person, and then the person you want to see is last, and you got to go through like 100.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
There's
You
so
don't.
many-
You don't
No,
like.
I don't know what
You've
you're
never
talking
seen
about.
like
I-
10 celebrities that. What do they look like now? And
Oh, I don't.
there's
click-
like.
I always assume
50
that's going to give me a virus.
No, they don't. They just have 50 pictures, and the one celebrity that's on the thing that you were like, oh, I want to see what they look like.
They're the last one.
There's like.
Why don't you just Google
Yeah, exactly.
whoever?
I guess
now?
I never.
You
I
could-
just
you
go
could just
through
go
it.
straight to
Clickbait, bro. I'm guilty.
Really?
You know?
I always assume those articles, like at the end of a website, I always think they're going to give me a virus. So
Yeah,
I
you're
never
gonna
click it.
subscribe to some thing.
It's like a yeah.
Not gonna be good for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do that too, and I'm
Oh,
like,
see,
when
I'm
bored,
so scared of
I
those.
do it when I'm bored, and I'm like, And I'm like, nothing's happened yet.
Like
but
this looks like something that's gonna break my.
I'm always
iPhone.
disappointed. I'm always like, what the hell?
It is. They're always
10 minutes of my
disappointing.
time, 5 minutes of my time.
But I mean, that's really all. I mean, a lot of stuff with the mask this week and me working that it just was brought to my attention, and it's just But I was trying to say before, like you remember when we first started the podcast during COVID, not when we first started, and we were like, it's going to be funny to look back if like we're never going to do it. But go back and listen to the first few episodes when it first happened.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like our March episodes.
Hey, it's in the archives.
But I mean, like.
And we were talking about like it won't be that long.
Well, we were talking about it won't be that long, and then as it was going, and we were like, this is going to be funny one day to look back on, like, to almost timestamp COVID.
Yeah.
And, like, now we're getting to that point where it's like I almost want to go back, even though it's not that long and we're still going through it, I almost want to go back to those March and April episodes and think about, like, where I am mentally, because I'm in B and me specifically, because you were kind of, not that you were never scared of it, but you had more of a...
You know what? I think that my opinion shifted on that the opposite way. I wasn't worried about it, and then I became worried about it.
Yes, but even when you became worried about it, like me and B in the beginning were like, this kid does not give a fuck about COVID.
Oh, fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just didn't seem like you did.
I didn't.
And I think it's funny because I almost like... Where I am now is like where you were then, and not that I don't give it. Like I'm just like I'm so over it, dude.
Tired of it.
And I didn't even have to work through it.
Yeah.
Like I really can't complain.
I
I'm
think
not
that
sitting here
that's
saying
what-
I had a bad
I
COVID
think
experience.
That's what changed me through it though, was having to work through it and just being like, well, fuck, people are dying. like
Yeah,
a lot of them.
yeah.
It's almost at the point COVID. It's like this feeling of being like a Jet fan. How the Jet fans the Jets continue to lose, and you're just like, this is the life I live now, and
That's
it stinks.
exactly
it's
what it is.
awful. But does that compare to COVID at all?
No,
think you're right.
not at all.
No, I think you're
but
right.
what do you think about? Do you think this new normal is gonna sustain?
I don't think we'll ever be in an airport without wearing a mask again.
Okay, I think certain
I don't
places we
I
won't.
think so.
I
Yeah,
think same
you're
thing
right.
with train stations and
But
trains.
what about restaurants and
Restaurants are already
outside?
getting back to
I
their.
think
That's what I'm
bars,
saying.
Though, like you can't just go to the bar.
It's a lot.
Do you think
easier.
those
I was out a
maximum
lot this week.
occupancies are going to be held a lot more or lowered and held to a standard?
I don't
think
think
not until
people.
there's a vaccine.
I don't think people are going to be as willing to be out as much.
But there's still going to be, and okay, but even so, let's say majority, but there's still 200 people that want to go into a place that only 100 can go into. Are those going to be
I don't know
enforced
how
now?
that all works.
Think about how many
Yeah.
bars you walked into where you're like maximum occupancies,
Right.
80 people, and you look around, it's like there's 80 people there.
But take like a nutty Irishman on a Friday night.
Right.
Do you think that ever happens again?
Yes,
I think it does.
but when?
I don't
I
think
A year?
personally, I
A year
think
from
as
now?
soon as it opens, to do it. I
You
think
might
the
be right.
young
Maybe.
people who don't really listen. If you're young, why do you care? I know you have family,
No, I agree with you
but
on
like
that.
you're gonna tell
and
me
I'm
like
not
life is
saying I
back
wouldn't
and
go.
I'm not gonna party now.
I'm
Like
not
I just
saying
feel like
wouldn't go. I'm just saying like I know the trouble that they can get into for that shit. How like do the owners like?
well, that's why I
maybe
think
reinforce
you're gonna
some
see the
distancing.
maximum occupancies lowered and enforced. I truly think the days of people just looking at money over
Just
safety.
1,000 people in a 500
I mean,
cap
a
room.
couple people may not give a fuck, or maybe push the numbers a little bit. But I think as a whole, those bars are going to be like, we're closed. Like, wait until
possible.
people come out.
Well, I was
You're going to
at-
start seeing a lot more lines outside bars.
I was at an open mic last week, and the fire marshal showed up,
That's what I'm saying.
and he looked at everything. The owner brought him in the back and showed him what we were doing. Technically, you're not supposed to do live comedy for some reason.
Yeah.
But it was spread out under a tent. It was outside, and they and the fire marshal gave it the okay. And then I did a show that weekend there, and it was great. People were separated.
Yeah.
They kind of separated. They clean everything.
And I think it's going to happen a lot in
It's gonna-
indoor places where it's going to these guys are going to have to enforce it because the other option is going to be get fined, shut down,
Yeah.
or take some sort of business.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, I think a lot of places are going to close.
tons of places. That's what sucks. It's hard to run a business as is.
Yeah.
And in this, there's people.
Now you can run it at like 40%
Yeah.
capacity.
That's what I'm saying. If you're telling me the Nutty Irishman or a lot of these bars that are dead Monday through fucking Thursday can afford on a Friday or Saturday to have half capacity?
No.
And
They're-
sustain for the year?
Nope.
I think
Making
they're-
up like those overfilled days make up for Monday through Friday just
course.
locals.
They're relying on takeout, which I think has probably gone up a little bit for them. But they're not. There's no way these people are making the money.
But
They
these
were.
places are going to be like where food was a secondary plus at a bar.
Yeah.
It's going to become a wow. I need to have good food. I need to be able to deliver it. I need to be able to. I have to have food if I want to serve drinks.
True.
Because I need some sort of guarantee to my business that you know what I mean.
And
Like
you know what it is? Like a night out is like a night out now. Now it's not like you want to just go grab a beer next
Yeah,
door.
it's a big deal.
It's
Yeah.
like no, like we're gonna go out and sit down.
And do we have the right
enjoy.
place? Do we trust this
Yeah,
place?
do we trust these guys?
and that's where imagine these places now. Look at how what's the fucking place you go on there and you just destroy everything. The fucking critiques. The
Yelp.
Yelp. Think about Yelp during COVID. You have a restaurant, one person goes there and doesn't deem it
Yeah.
COVID friendly. The amount of shit you'll get
I actually
and the
saw that
negative
once.
effect that people aren't even going to want to entertain it if they think there's like, you know what I heard, bad, it's done.
True.
I saw that on I don't know if it was Yelp, but it was like the Apple Maps
Yeah.
food review thing, and it was like a 1-star review because they forgot like the French fries in the to-go order. And you're like, you realize what you're doing in this business, though, right?
See, but
Like,
that's not even the critiques I'm talking about.
no, but like, does it matter? Because you see that star
Yeah,
rating.
there's always going to be people
Oh, the
like
star
that.
And they-
rating
but-
fucks
but
everybody
then they
now.
come up and it's like, oh,
But
2.5 stars.
yeah, no, that's and to complain during this time if somebody.
That's
yeah,
what I'm
that's
saying, man.
But you're right with like those fry reviews are now going to turn to those. They're not following basic protocol reviews.
Yeah.
People aren't
what you're
wearing
saying.
masks. They're not.
This place, they don't wear masks at this
Sanitizing.
place. And you're going to get people who are like, oh, that's where I want to go. Or you're going to get most people who are going to be like,
So I think it's going to. You're right. I think it's going to. You'll start to see some of that.
it's like
stuff.
everything that happens. Okay, so if we're going to adjust to this new normal, everything else is going to follow suit.
Yeah.
Right.
So, like you said, okay, now it's a big deal to go out. So now people will go out less. But when they go out, it'll be maybe not in bigger groups, but like
And they want to make sure they're going to
to a good place.
that they
So,
trust.
thing,
which
yeah.
means a lot of small places that don't get a ton of business are probably going to close, and then these big places that have a good are going to become jam packed.
And also the restaurants that don't have the ability to have an outdoor seating area,
Yeah.
they're going to get hurt more.
Prime
than
real
anything.
estate, you need to have outdoor seating.
That, I
have
mean,
to.
that was great before this, but now it's essential.
I went to Suburban Eats today. Never had outdoor seating there. I've never seen outdoor seating there in my
I've
life.
never seen it.
I don't even know. where
Three
that is.
things outside.
Yeah, they have
They're
to.
letting you eat, but you need that option now.
You
You have to.
So now think about Main Street if you don't have a front porch.
And there's a couple places. Well, Main Street's pretty good. I guess they have a lot.
I
of
guess
places.
Main Street has area. I mean, maybe it's not the best. I'm just trying to think of a place.
I know what you mean, but yeah, no, there's definitely.
Just think about a place with a building that you don't have
There's
the
definitely
real
restaurants
estate
that
and you
don't
didn't
have it.
buy it thinking that I need outdoor
Yeah.
seating.
No.
Like, yeah, it'd be nice to have an outdoor patio,
Yeah,
but I don't.
it'll
need
be
it.
nice, but I don't need it. Now it's like
now you need
now
it.
if you want to have to fill this place, you better hope you have a lot of good weather and a lot of outdoor seating.
Yeah.
Oh boy, what a life we're living.
It's just like no, it is. It's true. I mean,
It's gonna be weird in the winter, huh?
The winter's gonna be weird.
Winter's
but
gonna be
see,
weird.
here's my thing with the winter. You don't go out as much in the winter.
True.
True, but
I mean, yes,
I don't
everything that
know,
you do
yeah.
is going to be indoors, but in theory, what do people always say?
they're talking about not opening indoor dining in Manhattan though until 2021.
I think that's smart.
But those businesses
Yeah,
in
but
the
those
winter,
businesses
Oh,
are done.
I mean, here's the problem too. Like,
you know what I mean?
as a common sense and just from a let's get this fucking thing done with, it's smart.
Oh,
and
I
then
agree.
you do think about like you have to
We
think
have to
about the
think of
economy
you
and the
have to
people
think
who
of
are
the people
working.
first. Unfortunately, I mean the economy. I don't know. Do you have?
But the
It's
people
so
in the
tough.
economy go hand in hand.
They
It's
do.
so tough, though.
That's what I'm
Caring about the economy is caring about the people.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. But it's like you have to keep people safe. I don't know. I don't have.
But,
any
like-
That's a rough one. I don't know.
God, I've never wanted
That's
to
the
get
whole
any-
problem. Is like these people with small businesses that are getting crushed and creamed right now. It's like, do we let everybody just fall to the wayside?
I don't think so.
You know, it's like that's
No.
a big issue of why it's like, can we afford to do it,
No,
or can people afford to do it?
Problem is, nobody knows how to handle this. It's all brand new. You're walking into a haunted house that you've never seen before.
I was talking about it. Halloween's coming up now.
Halloween's
not-
canceled.
But I'm just saying, like, yo, these are
You
things.
got your mask in March. That's your Halloween mask.
I mean, I know how you say that, and I agree with you. Halloween should already be not a thought, but you're going to tell me coming up that it's not going to be an issue?
Oh, it will be.
That'll be
But
an issue.
And you don't think there's going to be families that are like, fuck this, I want my kids to go
Well,
trick-or-treating?
That's everything. Of course there will be.
I actually talked to somebody who I know said that. Like, I'm going to take them out. I'm like,
course.
you're nuts.
Of course. That's what's going to happen. And listen, wear a mask, go up, do what you got to do. Maybe the mask will be wear more of a thing. But people aren't going to stop that. Which how we started this. Everybody's feeling a different way.
Yeah.
People won't answer the door. People will answer. It's going to be weird.
Yeah.
Halloween isn't going to be what it used to be. But
Sorry
people
to
are
all
gonna-
those runners who put masks on. I didn't mean that.
Yeah.
It makes me really think about that a lot differently.
It's all good. Do you have any
Happens.
picks
We
for
learn.
us?
You know what? I had a whole bunch of picks, and
We have to apologize because
Yes,
we destroyed
please.
your.
We did. We ruined your picks
Last week,
I
we-
thought it was hilarious.
I thought it was great.
it was entertaining, but
By the way,
you
I would
guys
love
took
this
a
segment
conversation off of the show and turned it like, because I told you about that.
Because we are so.
and this is why I'll never tell you guys another pick before I come on the show
then
again.
we succeeded at our job because we have, much like COVID has infected our lives. The Chic's picks. There is not a day that goes by that you have to tell me about. You have to see this. You have to see this. Did you see this? Trust me, bro. You got to watch this. So I can't separate what you say on
But
the
this
show
was
anymore.
one thing that I told you guys. I want to talk about this. I'd appreciate it, and I did say this if you guys would both
All right.
watch it before. And
But you
We
understand.
did talk about it.
We
you
talked
understand
about
how we
it.
can get confused.
I do, and I'm not mad. I wrote you guys texts saying that you ruined it just because I wanted to.
I know.
You guys
We
to
did ruin
admit
it.
that I
We
was
did
right.
ruin it.
I would
I thought it
love
was
it
funny.
if Chick's Picks gets ruined every week. I think that's hilarious.
I
But
like the taking apart of the premise.
Yes,
Was just great.
because I'm not great at not blowing it and explaining it at the same
no,
time.
I know that's why you do the segment because you just you're
It's like
mediocre.
you're
at
reading the IMDb page, but like one that you wrote yourself.
it. Yeah.
One that's written by someone
Yeah,
who
it's
can't write.
written by-
You're like Gene Siskel's unemployed uncle that wants. To
I
also
actually
do
I don't
movies.
really have any picks because I've been on a big investigative discovery kick lately, and I've been watching a ton of shit on the ID channel.
I watched the first episode of FBI Most Wanted on Netflix. Did you guys see that?
Is it
Wait,
new? or an
FBI
old
and
one?
Most Wanted,
I
or
think
the America's? There's two. There's the World's Most Wanted, and then they had America's Unsolved Mysteries
No, I think it's like
Was it-
World Most Wanted or something.
with different languages. It is.
Yeah.
I watched
It
that.
was really good.
I
It
didn't
was
watch
good.
it.
I watched the first episode. It was
It was
awesome.
good. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, that was definitely a good one. But I've been watching a ton about these, like, it's all about like murder investigations and stuff like that. I've been watching so many of them, and I think they're all great. So I won't waste anybody's time with picks from this. And that's what I've been watching. That, and I've been rewatching The Wire, which, as I rewatch it, I used to bash season 2. Loved it.
I always like season 2.
No, I don't know why I didn't love it the first time I watched it.
Okay.
I think it's because it went from the Avon, Barksdale, and Stringer story to like a whole new bad guys, and
Yeah.
you just got into them. And
that
even
show-
though they were in it, but they weren't in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
But that's why the show was just so great because it kind of
And then it
bounced
picked
every-
right back
yeah.
up. So I can't wait to start up season 3 again because now I know I love the last few.
Season 3
But
is
the
great.
one season that I used to always say, Wire, one of my favorite shows of all time, didn't love season 2, and now I could take that back.
Season 2 I always liked. I kind of like the shipping containers.
The
and all
shipping
that stuff.
container. It was a great one. It was actually a very good. It was a very good season, and I don't know. I think maybe it just second time's a charm.
One of the all-time great shows out there.
But that's what I've been watching, so I'm sorry. I don't really have any fresh picks.
You don't
want
to go back to your old ones that we
You know
jumped
what?
down
I'll
your
give
throat?
you guys.
tread.
I'll
mean,
give you one
Please
pick.
tell us about Tread.
No, I'm going to give you guys one pick.
You're not going to tread on us?
And the reason why is
Don't
because
tread on me.
I'm a big fan of this guy, Adam Levine. Wait,
Uh-huh.
is it Levine?
Or
Levine?
the guy from
the Maroon 5 guy?
No, who's the one from Who's the one from Workaholics?
Adam Devine.
That's what I said, didn't I?
You said Levine.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
There's a huge difference there.
Yes, there is a huge difference. That's
Not
what I
even
thought I
close.
said. Adam Devine, right?
Yes.
Okay. Adam Devine
Yeah.
is in it. It's called Jexy on Showtime. The dumbest premise. I found myself laughing hysterically throughout majority of the movie.
Okay.
It's about he gets like a new phone and the operating system, like Siri, is called Jexy, just like starts talking to him. And I know it seems like a gay premise.
So it's her.
We're cutting that.
No, we're not.
No, we're cutting that.
Suddenly you want to. All right. You don't have to whisper. We're cutting it.
Okay. It's about he has
Just text me later. Also remind me.
this operating system on
About
his phone,
faggots.
and it's
Sorry,
like
sorry. I'm sorry. We cut that too.
believe it's the first time I ever said that.
Yeah, I know. Who cares? Right.
Because dude, you can't say that
I
on
didn't
these
think it was
things.
that
Dude, we grew up saying
I
that.
know, but you can't.
You're right.
I'm
anymore.
sure we've said worse.
No,
Yeah.
we've never. No, we never.
All right.
But anyway,
All right.
so it's
We called the guy Gorilla earlier.
Yeah, I
in the
know.
episode.
That's
I-
completely
20
different
20 minutes. Gorilla.
that's
Black guy.
everything is all about.
Black Gorilla.
Fucking, you better not. You better X all this shit out.
Yeah, really. You're now. You.
Are you kidding me?
So Jexy, and it's about an operating system
So
that
it's her. Have you seen her?
yes,
All right.
but not. It's more of a
who
comedy.
stars in her, by the way?
Hers, Jacqueline Phoenix.
Shot
Still doesn't get.
Fuck! I thought I got it.
Quiet. We're in the
Sorry. I thought I got it right.
Christ.
Whoa! How long before B gets a noise
I know.
complaint from
I'm-
just this podcast?
2 days.
Don't tell me what it is, because I want to. We'll keep on trying to see if I ever get it right.
We'll get it.
Who was in that? Joaquin.
It's a silent J.
Joe Keen.
Joaquin.
You got it.
Yay!
Nice. Joaquin Phoenix. It is like the comedy version of her. What?
The comedy version of her.
Yeah.
I laughed the whole way through.
Her was
How
hilarious.
It was
awful
her
it was.
hilarious?
Like not on purpose, but it was hilarious.
Yeah, I didn't like her.
The guy
I
was
like
falling in love with his.
Jexy's like it's an R-rated movie, so the jokes and everything, it's like, it's perverted. And it's Adam Devine is hysterical. So if you really like him on Workaholics and you watched his other movie Game Over on Netflix, which is also hysterical,
Yeah.
you're going to enjoy this. That's all I'll say. Watch it. The premise isn't, oh my God, this is a great premise, but the movie is funny.
I think I'm gonna watch
right.
Tread.
I'd rather you
I
watch
need to
Tread.
finish Tread.
I'd really rather you watch Tread.
I think maybe I'll watch
Being
Investigate.
a-
And I had somebody reach out to me who took my pick and watched Tread and said it was unbelievable. So anybody out there who is debating
you
it,
heard
fucking watch
it's
it.
Unbelievable. What he said is, I couldn't believe it.
No,
Yeah, I
he
couldn't-
said it was
I
unbelievable. He
couldn't
said
believe you
his
got that
exact
right.
words were, "I fucking loved it."
Was it the guy that I'm friends with?
Yeah, BB.
Because we
He's
were
he's a co-writer on the show.
right. Because we were together.
Has he been on the show yet?
Yeah.
We did have him on.
Yeah.
That's
So-
right. We did bring him on.
We were
Okay.
together, and he goes, "I actually really like Tread. Chick's picks." And I was like, "Oh."
You know how happy that makes me?
I said, text them right now. I guarantee you I'm getting a screenshot of that text. And boom, I got that screenshot of the text.
Is that the whole point of that whole exchange?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what's also?
Well,
You still got the text.
I still got it,
I
and I
also-
still will do it again. I'll
Still
screenshot
counts.
you.
I also told my friend BB, I was like, you know what? If you really do like something that he recommended, you should tell him because it's good feedback. We need to know this stuff. He needs to know that. You need.
I enjoy knowing that people. When somebody tells me,
Remember when you almost quit Chick's Picks? We need feedback.
I did almost quit. When people tell me that they watch what I
what
say,
the hell would he have talked about?
like or dislike, I love it because they took my
They're
opinion.
interactive.
And,
Not only that, but they made it this far.
but they
did.
made it this far, and
Yeah.
I feel like we're
I
at
think
that point
we
right
are
now.
at that point.
So if you made it this far, Thank you guys for joining.
Yeah, thank you. It was a big week in
Review
adult baby
us.
And
history.
congrats to both of you.
Thank you.
Big
And,
week. You both
know,
look
big
older.
things are happening to you too, I'm sure.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, we never know with you.
Yeah, you're probably
You're
going.
full of surprises.
God knows what's going to happen in a month with you. We
but
never
you
know.
both look older and
Yeah, well,
accomplished.
we feel older.
Yep.
I don't feel older. I feel better. I feel
You-
younger.
You actually look better.
Yeah,
I
he
feel
does.
younger.
You fit
You
in the
do.
recliner a little better.
Today, I realized I did 9,000 steps at my job, and then I still walked when I got home.
What a man.
And that's a typical thing where I would have been like, oh, I got my steps in at work. I don't need to walk.
You hit your 10,000 steps, so you walk? Or would you get
No, my
925?
walk, I wound up going to like 17,000.
That's all. Wow, long
What
walk.
a man.
I do 3-mile walk every day.
Nice.
Dude, I'm loving it. I'm loving
Love
the
it.
positivity. I'm loving what you got going on.
Yeah, man.
Still not loving the picks, but I love everything else. And I think this has been a fun episode.
Tread,
This was
everybody.
been fun.
Tread.
Everybody watch Tread.
Yes.